what about my son? What about my son? To me, this is church and state. Nikki, can you explain to me what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Not a damn thing. You're reaching. You're reaching. These ladies interviewed a woman who accused your husband of sexual assault way before you were ever even thought of. So Nicki Minaj out here in these internet streets showing her entire ass. Mama is having a full blown tantrum. The ladies of the real, particularly Garcelle Bouveau and Adrienne Houghton, interviewed Jennifer Huff, Kenneth Petty's accuser. And again, this was literally about almost a year ago. Now, I watched the interview. I didn't see where Garcelle Bouveau took his side. The lady was literally doing her job. She asked all of the pertinent questions regarding the case. You know, the typical interview questions. How did this make you feel? Oh, can you tell us a little bit about what happened? Typical interview questions. But for whatever reason, y'all had Barb in charge and lost her damn mind. She went on to say that she understood why Garcelle Bouveau's white man left her. And she even threw up. Y'all know of late, Garcelle's son was recently racially targeted for some crap that happened on their show, where supposedly Lisa Rinna paid for bots to harass him. And now a young man came out and said that he had nothing to do with the racially charged comments, but he did take ownership of the bots having been paid and to send negative comments Garcelle's son's way, who happens to be 14. Nicki Minaj even threw that up. Nicki Minaj went on record as saying, "Ho, if you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen." And this is what I think about that. I felt the same way about T.I. and his son King. You rich and famous people, y'all know what it is. Listen, Nicki Minaj been in the game for what, 15 years, 10, 15 years? Nicki Minaj is not new to this. You know that people are going to have questions, and you know that people are going to have concerns. Nicki Minaj then went on to say, what about my son? What about my son? To me, this is church and state. Nicki, can you explain to me what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Not a damn thing. You're reaching. You're reaching. These ladies interviewed a woman who accused your husband of sexual assault way before you were ever even thought of. Technically, mama, this is none of your damn business. You had absolutely no right to take this on in the first place. I understand you wanting to support your husband. I completely understand that. But you better ask Toya. Do y'all remember when Toya tried to come out and she tried to come out in defense of Memphis against K Michelle? And then you remember how that turned out. You remember when we saw Memphis down on what was it, Marriage Boot Camp? And then you remember how we saw him clown the dog Boo Boo out of Toya on national wide television. And Toya then had to learn to back her butt up out of that business. Listen, what go on between a man and a woman is between that man and that woman, even if that man is now your man. That is none of Nicki Minaj's business. And for her to literally go on an all-out tirade against this woman for interviewing his accuser. Listen, just like this thing with Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish, the entire world wants to hear from both sides. Everybody wants to know what Aries has to say and what the alleged victim has to say. Everybody wants to know what Tiffany Haddish has to say and what the alleged victim has to say. R. Kelly has a whole documentary, Surviving R. Kelly, where what? Everyone wants to know what R. Kelly has to say and what the alleged victim has to say. Nicki, that's the name of the game. You know this. Why are you angry? Why are you angry? If you had that kind of concern, riddle me this. Then why in the hell did you procreate with a man with these kind of charges? That is what you should take responsibility of. But don't go out here and procreate with a sucker that has been accused of alleged sexual assault, and then have a baby by him, and then get mad when the world is inquiring about this, when the woman brings it back up. That's the listen, charge it to the game. That's a part of being what? Rich and famous. Rich and famous. If he was still Kenneth Petty from the block, and he wasn't Kenneth Petty Minaj, nobody probably would want to know. But because he is Mr. Minaj, people want to know. I would suspect that because he's Mr. Minaj, that the lady didn't bought it out. Hey, but that's alleged. I wasn't there. But listen, y'all kill me going on a rant. Y'all kill me going on a rant when you get up here and you're rich and you're famous and you have a public life and you want nobody to ask you any questions. Nicki Minaj, you know this don't work like that. You know this doesn't work like that. And for you to launch an all-out attack on another black woman for simply doing her job, Garcelle was not disrespectful. I didn't hear her offer any words of support to Kenneth. Quite contrary, I didn't hear her offer any words of support for the woman. It was clear that Garcelle had a job to do, and she did it very diplomatically. She did not say anything disrespectful about your husband. So my thought process is, if she did not say anything disrespectful to your husband for some stuff that actually has no involvement of you, then why you mad? Why you mad? If it ain't true, why you mad? Why you mad? Because you're ridiculous. That's why you mad. And then Neighborhood Talk, shout out to Neighborhood Talk, posted where a Twitter user or whatever the case may be went out and said, in support of Nicki, I want you to drag Lonnie Love's ass too. And Nicki Minaj's response was, I would, but I clearly can't do it by myself. Nicki, you being real petty. And let me tell you something, lady. You have gotten too much support. Let's not forget that your brother was in trouble or is in trouble and was convicted of the same kind of alleged crimes, and you didn't come out and open your mouth. We could hear a rat piss on lit cotton. You were so quiet about that. Now, people had questions about you supporting your brother on that. You didn't come out and attack anybody about that. Why the hell would you come out and attack anybody about this? And this is a year later. And then not only that, you have garnered so much support. The Barbs come out in droves for you, and this is what you do. And you use that platform to go after another black woman. You use your platform to damn near justify. She actually says she can be heard saying, if you can't stand the heat, stay out the kitchen. Well, Nicki, you sound real funny to me. It sounds a hell of a lot like your kitchen hot as hell. That's what it sounds like to me, because you screaming and crying and going and carrying on for no reason. Nicki, if you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen, baby girl. This is a part of the game. You ain't new to this. You true to this. You had a whole brother. It's unfortunately, God rest your daddy. So there was some stuff regarding him and his untimely passing. Nicki, you had a lot of stories. You've had a lot of stories, and I don't recall you having any of that smoke for Remy Ma. You didn't have none of that for her. Then why the hell would you go after Garcelle? You wrong in two left shoes for this one, mama. And I don't support it. And you Barbs, I don't care what y'all got to say about it either. Y'all head Barb in charge is being a little baby. She is throwing a full grown lady tantrum. Like we expect this from Papa. Not your overgrown ass. Nicki, you need to grow up. If you didn't want this, if you didn't want any smoke about this man and this problem to surface, then mama, maybe you should have married him. Now, I'm all in support of you finding a love and marrying him and having your baby. You got a beautiful baby. You seemingly have a beautiful family. Don't get up here and do this. You stand by that man. You support him. Well, then continue to support him. You don't have to attack nobody to do it. Listen, Nicki done made me hot. Okay, listen, I'm gonna come back at y'all later. We're gonna talk about some other things a little bit later on. We're gonna discuss Ray J ass and a couple other things. So as y'all are aware, I would love on y'all later, but I'll be back.